Welcome to Mornings with Patricia. Happy Friday. Today I want to talk about the quest. And what exactly is the quest? Let's see if I can't get me a little bit more light here. And what exactly is the quest? Well, I don't know exactly. I'll talk about that a little bit more later on. But sometimes we think we know what we want in life, and we have this idea and this picture of it and all of these things, and then it turns out, oh wow, well, we get something pretty close, but we didn't quite nail it. And I just think that's the way it is with spirit. I was thinking today about being young and growing up, and I had graduated high school at 17. I was engaged to my high school sweetheart who went into the Navy. And my first semester in college at Humboldt State University, I was actually accepted into Barnard in New York and really wanted to go, but my parents said no. And even though it's an exceptional school, I can see that was probably really, really good that they said no, because I really struggled my first year in college, never having been, out of the house. But anyway. So my first semester in college, I got a letter from his new fiance that they were getting married the next month, and I may have told you about this, but that kind of put me into a spin, and I had come home with walking pneumonia, and wow, I just went into this real deep depression. But I was young and country girl and big heart and excited to take the world by storm. And so I really struggled with that, but I thought, okay, well, even though I went to Humboldt State University, which was, in Arcata, is still in Arcata, and is pretty much the last hippie bastion at that time. I thought I might meet my cowboy love of my life. And, I had this idea about him and this, of course he wore his cowboy boots and his 501s like I did, and all that stuff. And, he had this great heart and had a lot in common, and just couldn't find him. Small wonder. So my roommate at the time, she had dated this guy, and he comes out of her room, and it's in the morning, and he's wearing lava domes, which is like a hiking shoe, and this Stormfront jacket, and has this auburn hair, and he was kind of upset with her, and he barely said hello to me as I got introduced, and my heart jumped. I thought, I am going to marry that man. And it was months later, they had broke up, and that man and I became friends for a number of months until we started dating. And then we lived together for a year, and then we've been married for 30. And he does wear cowboy boots sometimes now, and 501s. I just have to laugh at that because, I was on a quest. And if I had not followed my heart, and if I had said, oh, my eyes are telling me something different, if I hadn't followed my heart, I would have missed the biggest opportunity, biggest love of my life. My husband, Bruce. After 30 years, he's away on a conference right now, and he's gone for 2 nights. This will be the second night, and and after 30 years, he still puts cologne on his pillow so I can snuggle it at night. He calls me at night. He called me this morning before he started his day. He called me at lunchtime, and he'll call me again tonight. And same thing when I went to India. I kept in daily, and I mean like 3-4 times a day contact with them, and there's a 12-hour difference, and I was on the walk and everything, and in India, and they use an application called WhatsApp, and so it's kind of like, you can do that. I'm telling you this in case you go over to, some of the countries like India. WhatsApp allows you to, it's kind of like Facebook, but on the phone. So you can text, you can add video, everything, and you don't get charged like you would on your phone. So it's a wonderful thing. But anyway, so if I hadn't followed my heart, I would have missed that opportunity. And I think about spirit in the same way for myself. As I've told you before, I was raised fundamentalist, but that just didn't feel right. And one of my degrees is English, but the other is religious studies. And I had some wonderful teachers in the religious studies major. And I fell in love with Buddhism. It just, that really opened up my life a lot. And I followed that for a while, and then I discovered New Thought, and I still love New Thought. I think Monday I'll talk about New Thought and what it means to be like an independent New Thought church and some of those belief systems. And then, of course, Hinduism. So, but the question becomes, in the quest for spirituality, and the quest for knowledge, and the quest for balance in our lives, I think we have to follow our heart. And, sometimes that'll last a lifetime, like my love with Bruce and Beyond the Veil. But, sometimes those things will change. And the things that we think, oh, Eureka, I found it. You found it for now. And just to be open to that it doesn't have to be the forever spirit thing, right? To be fluid in that. I think about Cat Stevens. I love Cat Stevens. And look, and he followed Islam, and everybody was so upset with him and broke his records and everything else. And now he's back in the United States, I believe, and performing. You have to follow your heart. You also have to know, and be fluid with the movement of change. And this is in everything, just in your daily life. Being fluid, you're on the quest. You wake up in the morning, you're on this beautiful quest to start your day, and you think you have this itinerary, and follow your heart, but be open to the fluidity of life and of spirit. Be open to the things that might come up. So, for example, if you have plans to go do such and such, I'm just going to do this because, well, maybe that won't help. Goodness gracious. You might have plans and you want to do something, and another opportunity comes up, and maybe it's something you really need to do. I have a terrible experience of double booking myself because I think I have, this free time, and then I'll book something and go back into my calendar and realize, oh my goodness, I already have a commitment. But being fluid, being open to the fluidity of life, coming to you, presenting to you, being spontaneous. Last Tuesday at Sacred Space, we talked about paradoxes, and that's what we do. We find ourselves in a paradox a lot of times. We're meant to do this, or we think we should do this, and then this comes up, and and we're in a paradox. So how on a quest do you solve a paradox? I think about it as the Gordian knot, and I've done so many of these videos now, I can't remember what I've talked about and what I haven't, but I think I've talked to you about the Gordian knot and how it was just unsolvable, and then Alexander the Great, he didn't try to unravel it, he just took his sword and cut it through, and therefore, he solved the Gordian knot problem. The thing of it is that that's the same way in a quest and a paradox. When you're on a quest, or when the quest is presented to you, it's two things that are battling each other, and it's really the middle way. That's very Taoist, that's very Buddhist, it's also very Hindu, the middle way. And so when you're looking at life and you say, well, this seems right, this seems wrong, if the gentleman that I was dating in high school hadn't found someone else, I wouldn't have met the love of my life. Did it hurt? Absolutely it hurt. That's the way things are sometimes. They look so painful, and we can't see, we don't have the eagle's view or the condor's view of being up high and seeing that everything is happening for our good on this magical quest. So what do? We choose the middle way when we're in the paradox, okay? And when we're in a place that we feel there's great pain, then we start to go inside and we start to question. We start to ask ourselves a question, what's underneath this pain? Is there a probability that this pain is saving me from something else, or that it's actually an opportunity in disguise? What are the possibilities around this pain? If you ask those things on your quest, if you continue to ask yourself these things, some amazing revelations appear. Because we don't question oftentimes our pain on the quest. We just kind of get mired in it, and we get, what do I say, sucked under, right? But if you think about the lotus, you know about the lotus, right? The 1,000-petaled lotus on the crown chakra. But a lotus actually comes up from the mud. If it didn't have the mud, you wouldn't see the lotus, because that's what it grows from, is this incredible mud. So out of this mud grows this amazing, amazing lotus. And that's what I'd really like you to think about on your quest today. It's so easy to judge our journey. It's so easy to look and say, oh, this isn't right. Oh, this is painful. Oh, this is wrong. I can't see where the opportunities are. But they are there. What does it require? Well, it requires your questioning. It requires your patience. Yes, that's the P word, the great P word, patience. It requires, your energetic endeavor to get to the bottom of things, to look at things from all angles. It requires for you to be open to new adventures, to say, wow, that doesn't look like what I thought it would, but to go ahead and check it out anyway, right? And it requires you to follow your heart, the quest. It's the heroine and the hero's journey. It's not for the faint-hearted. Many people think they want to do the journey, and they might start and they go back home. Some people start the journey, but they don't have enough provisions. Others well, I think we're all kind of naive when we start the journey. We don't realize all the pitfalls and perils ahead of us. But the incredible companions we meet, the incredible adventures we have, it makes great movies, it makes great books. We love to watch them, we love to read them, but we often forget we're living them. So, as you have your fabulous Friday and a wonderful weekend, I hope you consider these things about your quest and put them into practice in the next 3 days. So, 1, 2, 3. Oh my God! I love myself. I love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful Friday, and I hope you do something just amazing this weekend. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.